I rise today to represent every person of African descent across this country and in Florida's 20 congressional district with natural hair. I call on my colleagues from the U.S. Senate to pass the Crown Act to prohibit discrimination on the basis of hair texture, hairstyle that is commonly associated with a particular race and national origin. Lawsuits initiated by Black workers alleging discrimination against their natural hair in the workplace have filled courthouses for more than 40 years. This legislation will provide us with the freedom to wear our crowns without discrimination. We must understand that hair discrimination is rooted in systemic racism. Anti-Black hair sentiments on U.S. soil has existed for centuries. As a member of Congress, we have a legal and ethical obligation to push back against the Eurocentric beauty perpetuated across TV and in the media. Hair discrimination is race discrimination. Unfortunately, some employers discriminate against people of African descent who wear natural hair even though employment policies involvement are not related to workers' ability to perform the job. The notion that some of these policies are race-neutral policies, therefore not covered under the 1964 Civil Rights Act, which outlaws discrimination based on race, sex, color, religion, and national origin, is absurd and lacks merit. As a mother of African-American children, I want our beautiful daughters and sons in my district to feel comfortable in their skin without retaliation. Sadly, Black students are 3 to 6 times more likely to be suspended or expelled from school. And today, there remains regressive movements that continue to criminalize natural Black hairstyles under the auspices of preparing them for the real world. We must instead teach our children to embrace their natural beauty and understand that their humanity is not tied to their hair. To the organizations that have consistently advocated for the passage of this critical piece of legislation, we thank you for your commitment. I yield back.
Mr. Speaker, the Creating a Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair Act, or the Crown Act, is a critically important civil rights bill that would explicitly prohibit discrimination on the basis of hair texture or hairstyles commonly associated with a particular race or national origin. It would do so in areas of the law where discrimination on the basis of race or national origin is already prohibited, such as employment, education, and housing. To be clear, it is my view that existing civil rights statutes already make such hair-based discrimination unlawful. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission agrees, having issued guidance interpreting Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 to prohibit such discrimination as a form of race discrimination in certain circumstances. Unfortunately, some federal courts have erroneously rejected this interpretation. The Crown Act simply fixes these courts' misinterpretation of federal civil rights law, and this fix is urgently needed. According to a 2019 study conducted by the Joy Collective, Black people are disproportionately burdened by policies and practices in public places, including the workplace, that target profilers single them out for natural hairstyles, unquote, and other hairstyles traditionally associated with their race, like braids, locks, and twists. The study also found that 80% of Black women believed that they had to change their hair from its natural state to fit at the office, and that they were 83% more likely to be judged harshly because of their looks. While this study illustrates the prevalence of hair discrimination, it is the people behind those numbers that make this legislation so vital. For example, a Texas student was told that he would not be allowed to walk at graduation because his dreadlocks were too long. A Florida boy was turned away from his first day of school because his hair was too long. And a New Orleans area girl was sent home from school for wearing braids. Similarly, numerous Black employees have been told to change their hair because it violated their employer's dress code. Some have even been denied employment altogether because of their hairstyles. In view of these disturbing facts, 14 states have enacted statutes prohibiting discrimination on the basis of an individual's natural hairstyle, in every case with bipartisan support and sometimes even with the unanimous support of both parties. While I applaud these states for taking action, this is a matter of basic justice that demands a national solution by Congress. That's why I strongly support the Crown Act. The House passed a nearly identical measure last Congress, and I hope that we will do so again today. I thank the gentlewoman from New Jersey, Representative Bonnie Watson-Coleman, for her leadership and for introducing this important bill this Congress. I urge all members to support this legislation, and I reserve the balance of my time.